everyone, Jennifer here. Welcome to the Daily Connoisseur. I am so thrilled because I have a very special guest today on the show. The beautiful Fiona Ferris, all the way from New Zealand, is here to speak with us today. Welcome, Fiona.
Hello, Jennifer, and hello, all your readers. I'm so excited to be here. I feel like I've known you for ages, and I'm just so happy to be here. So thank you.
I am so thrilled because Fiona and I have known each other for so long. And this is like, did you know that I recently interviewed Marianne LaCour? Did you know her as well back in our early blogging days?
I know of her, but I don't know her as well.
So Fiona and I, we've been blogging for ages, and she was one of the first bloggers that I befriended, right? Back in, how long ago was that now?
Maybe like 08, 09,
yes,
something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, a decade ago.
Right. And
which is like 100 years.
I know, it feels so long ago. And Fiona, if you don't know who Fiona is, she is an author and she lives in New Zealand, and she is the author of all the chic books on, how many books do you have out now?
I have 6 books.
She's the author of 6 books, and she, she and I have known each other for years, and she's so lovely. And she just sent me her most recent book, which is 30 More Chic Days, which is the sequel to 30 Chic Days, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Fiona she's just a wealth of knowledge. She has always, you've had a blog called howtobechic.com. That's the name of your blog, right?
It is.
It still is, yeah. And so she and I connected, back when I started blogging, and we've been friends ever since. And again, I said this to Marianne. I said, I kind of went off the radar for a long time because of having all my children. But now I'm just getting back, and it's so nice to reconnect with all of these friends. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Very honored to be on your show.
And I love the background. I see some agapanthus there. Are you in your garden right now?
Yes, I'm at home, and I'm in my garden because it's just a beautiful morning, and I thought, why not? Why not?
I know. I love this backdrop. This is the first time anyone's been outside, so it's wonderful. So I just wanted to jump right into the interview here.
Yes.
And hopefully I will not be interrupted. My husband's looking after the 2 youngest boys right now, so there could be some noise in the background. But I have so many questions for Fiona, and I just wanted to introduce her to any of you who might not have known who she was. So I wanted to start off by asking you about how did you become a writer and a blogger?
Right. Well, probably like many writers, I love to read, and I've always been a big reader right from a young age when my mum took us all to the library each week and got books out. And so it's just my happy place. And I read both fiction and nonfiction. And I've always just, like probably many of us, just thought, if only I could write a book. And I always thought I'd write a novel. And maybe I still will. But yeah. And then just one day, blogs appeared. And I went, I don't have to sort of do this big, hard, tricky thing of doing a publisher and an agent, and where do you even find those sorts of things anyway? And so I thought, I can just have my blog, and that can be my own place to write. And when no one really knows who you are, because you're just one person, one speck on the internet, that you can just feel quite safe and encouraged to write about whatever you want to. And I think that's the important thing, because that's the main, I think, way to success as a writer, is just writing about what you're passionate about and what you find the most fun and what brings enjoyment to you. And when you think that you've got to please people or have an audience straight away, it's easy to think, that would sound silly, or no one would read about something like that. But when it's just this blog, you can just start writing about whatever you feel most, joyful about. So that's how I started being a blogger, and that progressed as I saw people like yourself and other people start to self-publish. And the world's changed so that now it's really, really easy to self-publish. It's as easy as writing a Word document and emailing it, really.
Right.
which is quite thrilling and really cool. And I've read some wonderful self-published books, which I never would have had the chance to do otherwise. And likewise for myself, I have created this really, really happy life for myself, being a write from home author, just writing about stuff that makes my heart happy. So yeah, how lucky is that?
Oh, I agree with you so much.
Yeah.
I think especially with the genre that we write in, which is nonfiction lifestyle, people can have a lot of self-doubt, or they might be embarrassed to share this, right? Because they think, oh, if my friends and family see this, they're going to think, who do I think I am, for sharing my wisdom? And it's so funny when I talk to people and they don't know about the Madame Chic book, and they say, well, what is it? And I say, well, it's kind of a lifestyle book, kind of a memoir. And they're like, you wrote a memoir? Don't you have to be like 90 years old to write a memoir?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, if you have an experience that's interesting, you can write a memoir, but, and I think that is the nice thing about blogging. And I remember I would blog and it was totally anonymous, didn't tell anybody that I did it.
Exactly. No one in your real life can know. Yeah.
I'm still embarrassed. I still don't tell anybody. I make new friends and I don't tell them what I do at all. And they somehow find out like 6 months later and they're like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, well, because who is this lovely creature?
This is Chloe. I locked Daphne in my office because she barks a little bit sometimes, but Chloe's just found me. She just got out of bed. Yeah.
She is so cute. What type of dog is she? A pug?
She's a Griffin, which apparently comes from the pug family. Yes. She's a little rescue one from a puppy farm, her and her sister. Yeah.
She is so cute. Hi, Chloe.
I
welcome.
Yes. She just wanted to be in the interview.
Yes, I think the self-publishing thing was great because, I self-published Madame Chic as well. And it just, I like to encourage authors to do that. I meet so many people, you probably do too, who say, Jennifer, I would love to be a writer. I have written a book, but I can't find what should I do? And I say, just self-publish your book. But the thing is that with self-publishing, you have to market it. Otherwise, no one will know that it exists. So, that's why, with the blog and social media and stuff. And that's what you do, which is so nice. I want to ask you, because you have all the chic books, you have How to Be Chic in the Winter. I mean, you have so many books. How do you define chic?
I think for me, I mean, there's the very sort of basic view of that it's clothing, it's your personal style. But for me, I think it's how you do everything. It's your whole life, and it's similar in a way to the La Bella Figura concept, the Italian concept of putting your best foot forward in everything you do. And yeah, I just think if it makes you happy, why not? Like if you want to live a stylish life, you still have to do all your things that you have to do. You have to go to work, you have to look after people and do the laundry and all that sort of thing. But you can choose to do it in a way that makes you happy and just have style in everything you do. So yeah, like it's your own inimitable style.
Yes, I can't say that either.
What was I thinking trying to say that word? Yeah, because we're all different. So we all have our different influences. And I think that's the neat thing about it, that when you see people that really enjoy adding beauty to their life and making it nice for other people as well.
I love that. Yes. And I think some people just want a definition. Tell me what is chic. What should I be wearing this season? And there's no answer to that. Everybody's so unique and different, has such a different style. It just depends. And it really is. I totally agree about how you live your life, how you choose to do the smallest thing to the biggest things, even, the laundry. And so much of that is just attitude, just having a good attitude, because like you said, we have to go to work. We have to look after people. We have to do our chores. We have to do these things. We might as well make the best of it and
enjoy it.
Yeah. Like I say, with a happy heart, I would say, do it with a happy heart. That's what I always say to my kids. Yeah.
And it does come down to attitude too, because that makes things effortless. You think, well, you have to go to a lot of trouble to do something in a more beautiful way. But if you do it with a happy heart, which is lovely, just thinking that to yourself, it makes it more effortless to do something that just adds that little bit more, just a touch, a feminine touch or something like that to what you're doing.
Yes. And also when you have to do those tasks, to just do something to make them more enjoyable. Like, I listen to audiobooks when I clean the kitchen. In my laundry room, I have this old, it's so weird, this old postcard from the Sherlock Holmes Museum on the wall. It just makes me happy. And I'm like, when I'm doing the laundry, I look at it and I'm like, I feel happy. I'm thinking about Sherlock Holmes right now. I know that's so random, but just little things like that, individual things for each person that can help them get through the task,
And I mean, Sherlock Holmes might not be part of some people's shared life, but it's part of yours and it makes you happy. So
exactly,
that's the important thing.
Yes. And embrace the quirkiness. I always like that with people.
Totally. Exactly. Because that's the interesting thing about people when you meet them, the little different things.
Yes.
Yeah. Show people your quirkiness as well,
Yes.
Like often we're sort of not ashamed of it, but a little bit embarrassed that we like these little weird things and you sort of hide those bits, but those are the bits that are quite endearing. So.
That's so true. It really is. And so I noticed you're wearing a Breton style striped top. Very French. Very French chic. So could you please describe your personal style to us?
My personal style it's mostly classic, but I have little touches that make it more me and less, like if I was 100% classic, I'd feel quite boring and dull, but I do love that classic base. So for me, I zazz it up with, I like a little bit of rock and roll. So I might wear a leather jacket if I'm going out at night with skinny jeans and high heels and a pretty top. And I've got maybe a long sort of skinny gold necklace that wearing that at night too makes me feel a little bit rock and roll, because it's all about how it makes you feel. It might not be sort of on a list of things to wear to look like a rock and roll star, but just little touches. That's how it makes you feel. And I also have about probably 5% bohemian, where I just I wear quite streamlined clothes, but there's just a touch of bohemian that I like to bring in. Trying to think about it, I wear in the summer a denim dress with a bit of embroidery or something, and I quite like long loose hair that's sort of got quite a bohemian thing to it. And of course the French chic classic thing. I mean, I could happily have the cliched French woman's wardrobe, and it's probably not what the real French woman wears.
I know, but, me too. The cliched one, right?
I know.
The striped top one. I love it. I almost wore a striped top today. How funny would that have been?
Well, I love your top. Let's
Thank
put Chloe down. It's very pretty, the white lace. Yeah, exactly. So, and also I'm quite casual. I really love to dress up when I go out, but even that's quite casual in a way. And I have a few dresses as well. I love wearing a dress for special occasions. So that's part of my style. But mostly it's quite casual because I work from home. And even when I didn't, I guess I just I'm not so... I really love Erin Lauder. I really admire her, but her style's so polished and Park Avenue. It's a bit more...
She's so elegant.
Oh, so elegant, yeah. But I wish I could see more of her casual clothes to see what she wears on her, not when she's wearing her silk pants and beautiful blouse and very dressed up,
Yes, I think a lot of people email me because, I like to wear dresses. I probably wear dresses 80% of the time, I would say. I just like wearing them. And I'm more comfortable in them. And so some people say, but Jennifer, I don't like wearing dresses, so what should I do? And I'm like, that's fine, because that's just me. If you want to wear jeans every day, that is fine too. It's about how you dress it up. And I think, the thing is with society getting so casual, I don't know what it's like in New Zealand, so you have to tell us, but in California, it is too casual. Where people wear, yoga pants every day. They wear, they look like they're in their pajamas perpetually. And you're not talking about that casual. You're talking about,
polished casual.
Polished casual.
My everyday outfit, in the summer I wear a lot of dresses because it's just so warm and that's nice. But the other 3 seasons I wear fitted or skinny jeans most days, and a ballet flat or a little trainer like a Converse, or ankle boots maybe in the winter, and my Breton top or a well-fitted t-shirt or a nice tailored shirt. So that's my kind of casual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real,
Not yoga pants and leggings and that aren't meant to be worn outside the house.
right.
Yeah.
What you said just reminded me that we both used to have shoe stores, right? Because you used
Wow.
to, your did
Yes.
you know that about me too? I think I knew that about you.
I know your family's involved in the footwear business.
Yeah, well, no
With
longer
the
because
ballet
they sold their
flats.
business. It was my husband's and
Right.
his family and his mother who
Yes.
designed the
Yes.
shoes and everything. So, yeah, I remember that.
Mm.
That was another funny thing that we had in common. You
True,
know,
because it's not that common to own a shoe store.
I know.
Or even work in one, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, my husband and I worked together for 12 years and had a shoe store, and it was a year or two before our lease came up for renewal, that we thought, oh, we're going to have to sign up for another 3 to 6 years. Like, do we want to commit it to ourselves for that long? The world's changing. Do we want to live in the city anymore? So that's when we decided to change our life and moved to this small idyllic country area where I grew up, which is
Oh,
about 5-6 hours drive from the city where we used to live in.
oh, that
And
sounds
it's
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful.
You know,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to visit New Zealand. The closest I've gotten is Fiji. I think I actually
Okay,
touched
that's pretty
base at the
close.
airport, but I mean, I have always wanted to go to New Zealand because it looks like the most
Yeah,
beautiful place in the world. So maybe I'll come visit you one day.
please do. I'll show you around.
You know, your skin is so beautiful. Can you tell us about your skincare routine and your makeup and all of that?
Sure thing. I could talk about skincare and makeup all day long. Probably more skincare because I just love skincare, and I wanted to be a beauty therapist, and I even
Mm.
looked into it when I was about 30. I thought, oh, I'm going to retrain and be a beauty therapist, but I decided not to. I thought I'd just keep it for myself and just, have fun with it. But I have been using just normal skincare, nothing expensive, since I was about maybe 13 years old, twice a day, taught by my mum. And so I cleanse, tone, and moisturize, just the normal things. And I think it's not so much what you use, in my opinion anyway, but how often you do it and how well you do it. And I
Mm.
really love cleaning my face because I think that's an important step. Not that I really strip it, but I really take pleasure in cleaning my face and moisturizing as well, and doing things like little mud packs, each week. Uh,
Me too.
so, yeah, it feels really luxe, and you don't have to go to a spa to do
Right.
that. Like, I'm all about not spending money where you don't have to. And sure, it's beautiful to go somewhere and be pampered, but I'm not going to, spend the money to do that every single week. So it's the things that you do in between times that make the most difference. So in the morning, I wash my face in the shower and I put on an SPF 15, like nothing too high. Not that I don't agree with high SPF, it's not that, but I don't spend a ton of time in the sun. So I just put on a normal SPF and my makeup, and I just use really inexpensive brands. I've just got an Olay moisturizer at the moment, and I quite like the natural sort of skincare brands that you can get from the supermarket, for sort of $10 or $20.
Mm.
Before we had the shoe store, I worked for Christian Dior, which was wonderful, for about 5 years for their skincare, makeup, and perfume
Mm.
part in New Zealand, and that was fabulous. And I got a chance to try all the $200 creams, and that was quite
Yes.
fun. So
What was your
I'm
favorite
grateful for
Christian
that.
Dior perfume? Which one was your favorite?
I loved J'adore at the time. I wore that a lot. But Addict is quite a different one as well.
Hmm.
Like, it's quite a big perfume, but it was quite different at the
I don't think I've
time.
ever tried that one.
It's
I've tried
quite,
Miss Dior Sherry. That's one, right? Is
that's
that
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very fresh.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much like all of them. I'm a real perfume person as well. So I can appreciate different kinds of perfume. The way that you can have, with perfumes, you can wear something that's really green when it's really hot outside and fresh, make you feel fresh, or you can wear something like J'adore that's really pretty and feminine and feel delicious. And also that you can feel quite sexy on a night out by wearing something that's a little bit heavier than you normally might,
Mm.
but just, a little few dabs with a light hand is just uh, quite wonderful, that you can just have so many different moods that you can bring
Right.
to yourself.
So
Yeah.
you don't have a signature scent. You change your perfume based on the season and your mood and all of that. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought I would love to have a signature scent, but I just couldn't
There's
narrow
just
it
too
down to
many out there,
one.
aren't there? It's hard.
Yeah, I'd have to have 20 signature scents. And
You
I'm
know,
not kidding.
I discovered Sylvain Delacour. She's French. She's a parfumer, and she
Ooh,
sent me some to review on the blog. And so she's amazing.
wonderful.
So I discovered a new musk that I really liked called Dovana. And she's got some
Yes.
vanilla ones that I want to try too. But yeah,
Pretty.
I'm more of a signature scent. It's too
Yeah.
much for me. Although I do have more than one perfume. I wore Stella
Mm.
for, years. That was my
Hmm.
signature scent for years.
Yes.
Then I I felt like too many people wore Stella. I mean, how
Mm.
silly is that? Of course, like millions of people wear Stella. But I was like, oh, I can't have the same
Mm.
signature scent that so many other people have. So then I tried Blackberry and Bay by Jo Malone. And then
Hmm.
she's got some amazing scents. And then I kind of went back to Stella. And then now I'm kind of wearing Dovana. So I do shift my signature scent. I think that does need to change, as you get older and as things change. But yeah, no, that's fascinating. I love that. It's funny. I think you were the same. I used to blog a lot about perfume. That was kind of how I
Right.
started. I was in like a
Right.
perfume phase, and I would review perfumes and go to Sephora and test them and everything. So
Yeah.
you
Good
just
fun.
brought me back. So for makeup, so I love
Yes.
that you use accessible skincare that you could just get anywhere. That's nice. I mean, I can't
Yes.
believe you use Olay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Your skin looks
I
great.
do. And I've used it for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
It's the one in the pump, like the 7 signs of, oh, here's Chloe. The 7 signs of aging one in
Okay.
the pump. It's not like the expensive Olays. I just really, really love the texture of it, and yeah, the smell also, like the scent takes me back to childhood. My mum wore the Olay in the pink bottle, when I was
Yes.
young.
Right. I know that does.
Yeah.
It has a very evocative scent to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It just feels feminine, and it feels quite old school as well, like sort of old school bombshell. You can imagine people like, I don't know if Marilyn Monroe wore it, but just people, yeah, bombshells from the past. Like it's quite a sort of old fashioned, like using cold cream type of feeling for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
cold cream,
Not
right?
that I use cold cream. I don't use cold cream.
What about makeup? Do you have the same philosophy with makeup? Do you buy drugstore makeup, high end? I mean, you worked at Christian Dior. Do you wear a lot of that?
I don't anymore, but I used to, when I used to be able to buy it at staff prices and be gifted a lot. But now, probably the only expensive one what I consider expensive, is that I have used the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation
Okay.
a lot. And at the moment, I'm not. I thought I would try some less expensive ones. So I've got I think it's Maybelline from the supermarket, which is really inexpensive. And I sort of thought, wow, I'll just try that. And it's nice. It's not got quite the coverage of the Double Wear, but the Double Wear does have a lot of coverage.
Okay.
And I've got a few pigment spots, so I sort of have to go over those areas, or a little, like, red dot or something that you don't want to show. So you have to go over those areas a little bit more with the more lightweight makeups. But it's still quite nice to try different ones, and I really enjoy just finding new things. Yeah, I think eyeshadows are one area that you'd probably want to go a bit more expensive, because I've bought, I think it was a Maybelline, like the Nudes, one of those ones, eyeshadow palette, and it's not as good as the MAC eyeshadow I've got, which I really enjoy wearing.
Right. I do think that it matters with eyeshadow for sure.
Yes, because it looks nice in the palette, but then you put it on your skin and you can't see it. There's no color.
Or it flakes. I've had that
Yes.
experience where I find that Chanel makes the best eyeshadows. I think that but they're so expensive. I would always pick them up at duty free. Laura Mercier makes a good one. Funny, right before this, I shot a video for a totally organic makeup line that I was trying out. So I'm actually wearing, I don't know, it's actually quite subtle. You can't see it, but it's like a tinted moisturizer, everything organic eyeshadow.
Yes.
And I've never tried that before. So I really liked it. It was called Alina Organics. So
it looks really pretty.
yeah, I'm actually quite
natural.
pleased with it. I was like, well, how, because it's all, it's like natural. So, and the pigments are so different than the stuff with all of, and you wonder, how bad is makeup for you? We're putting it on our face every day, and our pores are sucking it in. So I don't know. I'm trying it
for decades on end.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
For decades on end.
Yes, I know. Truly.
But we're still here.
We're still here. We'll look good while we're here, right? That's all.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't died from wearing the makeup yet, so.
Not yet. We're still here.
Exactly.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but what are your 3 best tips for being chic?
Right. Okay. So I think the first thing is that I would say to know that chic is not a prescriptive way of being. It's not this checklist that's you have to adhere to, that you can interpret it any way you want. And that's what I've done for myself. And I think you can interpret it in a way that suits your personal style, a way that suits your budget. It's not about buying a Chanel suit, and about your lifestyle as well, whether it is a casual lifestyle, a city lifestyle, a country lifestyle. You can, I've got readers that, live in the back of beyond with chickens and that kind of thing. They're out in the paddocks, but they can still feel chic because they bring their own sense of style. Like they might wear their pearl earrings, like they might have to wear clothes that aren't as glamorous to do those jobs, but they can put a little bit of makeup on, do their hair, wear some earrings and some perfume, and still feel really good about themselves. And that's a way that this lady brought her own way of, her own chic being into her casual country lifestyle. And the budget as well is a big thing too. So yeah. And my next tip would be to apply it to your whole life, like we talked about, not just your clothing, but how you might entertain people when they come around, even if it's just for a cup of coffee. I have a new friend here in Hawke's Bay, and I visited her for a cup of tea one day. And she served it just in mugs, like I often have a mug, but she put the mug on a beautiful saucer, and it was a blue and white mug on a saucer. So I thought, that's a really neat thing to do, that you can still just not get out the sort of teapot and the little afternoon teacups and saucers, but you can just have a sort of spur of the moment drink with somebody, but putting it on a saucer was just a nice touch, I thought, so I just started copying that. And it's just like La Bella Figura. It's everything you do. It's how you, I don't know, just how you, like even how you have your kitchen like displayed. There's just so many, it's your whole life being chic to me. It's a whole life thing. And my third one is to be financially chic as well, and I know you've done a series on this, a course on this, and it's a big thing. And I think a lot of people get really inspired and carried away by glossy Instagram accounts or books on being glamorous by having all the designer clothing, but it's nothing if you're really stressed out about money and you've got massive credit card debt. So for me, being financially chic comes above all else. So, and pretty much what I write about isn't about spending money. Of course, you have to buy yourself some clothes to wear or food to eat or whatever, but I'm not about buying the most expensive thing. And most of the things that I like to do for myself don't cost money. It's just effort and attitude, like you say. It's choosing to, I go for a walk for my exercise. I do my own facial routines. I just make my own fun, and none of that costs money, but it's all about just the way you choose to be. And you can create your own inspiration and be inspired by others. And it's just, I just think it's a really important thing. And I just wish more people were excited about talking about finance and money, because it's a really neat thing when you meet somebody like-minded, which isn't very often.
Yes.
And you can see that they have a gorgeous life, but it's not all about just spending thousands of dollars. But about the way they do things.
I agree with you so much. And I wish I had the evolution. I talk about that in my e-course on being debt-free, about how when I was younger, even when I started blogging, I had a very different mentality, and I wasn't thinking about the future, and I would just buy something if I wanted it, and I didn't really think twice about it. And I do like to spread this message, because I think young people especially, they think,
very caught up.
That's down the line. I'll be fine. I'll have a good job. I'll make a lot of money. Life is very expensive. Very expensive. And so
Yeah.
I just can't tell people enough how much it is important that they are, you know, I really don't like this word frugal.
I know
it's such a
not,
horrible word, isn't it? But
and
frugal minded.
not that much better.
Yeah, and so that's why, you know, with the 10-item wardrobe and everything, I just encourage people not to consume too much. Now, on my channel, I actually like to do a lot of reviews. I review things because as bloggers, we get sent things for free. And so I like to review things for people so that they can make informed decisions. But I always tell my viewers, you know, don't buy every single thing that I talk about. If it's right for you, if you've been thinking, oh, you know, I really want to switch to organic makeup, but I don't know what to do. And then you see a review from someone you trust and you think, you know what, that's the one I'm going to buy. It's about that instead of, you know, I'm just going to buy 5 and just see which one works. You know, wasting money is just, and women can waste so much money with makeup. You know, you might walk past a shop and think, I need a new lipstick. And then you spend $35 on a new lipstick, but you don't really because you have 10 at home, you know, that type of thing.
And they never go down to the bottom unless it's a super favorite shade.
I know.
You always get sick of them before they get to the bottom.
The one
and it's maintenance as well, you know?
And what?
Like people that maintenance, things that require maintenance, like deciding to get your legs wet, say, that's maintenance. Thinking, oh, I might get those new shellac or gel nails that people have. That's maintenance.
Right.
Getting a really high maintenance hair color or even extensions, that kind of thing.
People do eyelashes these days. I don't know if they...
Eyelash extensions, they do here too, not so many. So there's so many things that also require maintenance that when we were saving for a house and then deciding to pay our house off really quickly, I went through all my things and thought, how can I do it myself? Like I bought an epilator for my legs because I didn't really like shaving them because you have to do it again so soon. It's just boring. And so I do that every week or two, and it just keeps my legs like they're waxed. But once I bought it and it was not that expensive, then it's free, you know, and it takes a similar amount of time to driving to somewhere and getting somebody to wax your legs, that kind of thing. I have my hair it's a little bit more blonde at the moment because I thought, oh, why not? I've been so frugal for so long. I'm going to go a little bit more blonder. But also when you go grey, going to grey, you can it's like grey blonde. It's sort of a fine line that you can be a bit blonder. But, you know, I had my hair colour quite natural for a long time that I didn't need to go to the hairdresser so often. And when it's longer, you don't, you know, need to cut it so much. We can just have a little snip yourself. And so all of those things and choosing inexpensive makeup and skincare, you can still feel pretty and enjoy yourself and not feel like you're sort of having to wear drab colours just because you're trying to save money, you know, and feel really unhappy about yourself. But, yeah, there's just so many ways that you can tamp it down and get good results without spending money and just applying it to somewhere else, like paying off your house or getting a house in the first place. Because that's not getting easier in a lot of places.
Yes, yeah. I agree. I mean, I try. I'm very low maintenance now, you know, with 4 kids and a baby. I just don't have time to go. I don't do my hair. Yeah. So I said I don't dye my hair, but once I start getting grays, I think I'll probably start to dye it. So I'm holding out. I see a cat now in the background. Do you have a cat too? I don't know if they'll be able to see that in the video.
That's Nina.
Yeah, so
I've got four girls. I've got 2 cats and 2 dogs.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, but you look beautiful. It's not like you just look the same to me as when you first started your blog and your videos. So it's not like you've decided to spend less money, but you're just all of a sudden really dowdy and, you know, like you still look amazing.
Thank you.
So it just shows that other people can't really probably see the difference.
Right.
With you not spending as much.
Exactly. Yeah. That is so true. Yeah. And, you know, I do my own nails now. I did my nails yesterday. And I used to I used to get manicures every 2 weeks when I was in my 20s.
Well, that's so inexpensive in America.
Oh my goodness. Sorry to anybody it was a waste of money for me. If you can afford it, that's great. But, and I could afford it. I wasn't going into debt over it, but it was unnecessary because I paint my nails. You know, I use like the London Town. I love those polishes. I just paint my nails myself and it's fine. It's like, I don't see a difference, you know? So I'm like, why? I don't have time to go to the salon. So I just do it at home, but I totally agree with you. Yeah. And you have a book called, remind me of your financial book.
That's called Financially Chic.
Financially Chic,
So,
yes.
yes. And so that was just something that I really wanted to write. And I think I want to write another money book because I'm sure I've got so much more to say.
Right.
But it's just about living an abundant life on a budget and learning how to enjoy money, not to be scared of it. And it's not a book that tells you where to invest, because that's different for different age groups and countries that you live in. But there are basics that apply to anything, such as what we've been talking about. So,
yeah. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being a guest today. This flew by. I mean, we're already at almost 40 minutes, so we got to cut this off.
Wow.
But I could talk to you forever, and I hope that you'll be a guest back again on the channel.
I would love to be. I've had such a nice time talking to you and just super thrilled to be here.
So thank you so much. I'm going to leave all of Fiona's information below. Be sure to check out her website, and she'll have all her books listed on there. And this is her latest book, 30 More Chic Days. And I mean, she's just a wealth of knowledge. As you can see, she's absolutely lovely. And she's just full of just, wonderful wisdom about this. And so it's been such a pleasure chatting to my longtime friend. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on the channel today.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. And we will see you next time on The Daily Connoisseur. Bye.